Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. I'm going to do the Soul Purpose Saturday. Pardon the janky setup. We are on Ratchet Protocol still. I am cupcaking it, and I have some guidance about the retrogrades that's come through. It probably won't be in this video. And if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for the support. There's a link to donate in the show notes. Those are greatly appreciated right now. There will be an announcement about the booking website opening up, and there is a new syllabus for the Mishra School. The initiation key is still the same, but there is additional documentation in there. So again, you can access all these key pieces of information in the show notes. Thank you for your support, whether you're sending a donation or you're liking, sharing, subscribing, maybe even commenting on the rare occasion that the comments are open. As always, you can make a comment on the show description page. So on the channel description page, there's an about section and you can leave a comment. It might be called community discussion. You could also just, like or subscribe. You can also, Instagram or tweet or Facebook, adding, subscribing, etc. So, Soul Purpose Saturday, Soul Purpose, Mission, Karma, Destiny, how to be your bigger, brighter, better self through leveraging your self-worth and value to find your strength, courage, and wisdom. That is your soul purpose, mission, karma, destiny. How do you be a purpose in this lifetime? You use your gift to make the world a bigger, brighter, better place. So we're going to go ahead and get this. And I'm not doing reversals right now. I like to do reversals. It's just, retrograde season. And I'm kind of, people born during a retrograde, they're kind of retrograde immune unless it's a very specific access on their chart, a very specific degree, a very specific point, a very specific thing. Okay. So right now we're going to go low on the reversals. We're only going to use them for the minor arcanas. The major arcanas will be read up, right? And getting in here, seeing where we fit in, soul, purpose, mission, karma, destiny. It seems like for me, the sacrifice is to leverage the strength, courage, and wisdom. Now it's going to come through facing what's alive in us. Not quite the confronting of what's alive in us, but see this energy here. The Empress, I'm hearing La Imperatrice. So the Empress in Il Justizio, the Judgment card, it means facing the part of you that needs to grow up, facing, and it's not quite grow up as in maturing, but grow up as in like be bigger, brighter, and better than you were last week. Be bigger, brighter, and better than you were last time. Be bigger, brighter, and better than you were last year. Be bigger, brighter, and better than you were last lifetime. Be bigger and better and better before, than you were the last time you faced whatever. And see on the axis, this is the axis has a name. Axis is always like opposing houses. First house is opposed to seventh house. Second house is opposed to eighth house. Third house is opposed to ninth house. Fourth house is opposed to 10th house. Fifth house is opposed the 11th house. Sixth house is opposed to 12th house. Those are axes. Vertices, axes, vertex, axis. These are things we use in the temple wordings. Uh, The the seventh and first axis, and I know for you that might be a little bit confusing, that is actually the Fool card. And the fourth and 10th is the World card. So we have the moon and the high priestess. So the high priestess is the new moon, and the moon is the full moon. So the secret would be the moon card here, and then the keeper of said secret would be this high priestess here. There's something that was confronted, and it seems like it was our authentic self, the part of our internal nature, the part of our feminine nature, the part of our receptive nature, the part of our tender nature that needed to reveal itself, that needed to come out into the world. And coming out of the closet, it's not always about your orientation. Coming out of the closet is having a difficult conversation with a person, place, or thing. Really, I want to say in a person, place, or thing, around a person, place, or thing that would normally be quite difficult and might also have a sense of loss. Now, you could lose your autonomy, you could lose your secret, you can lose your demure nature, because now people know, and people could be multiple parties, people, places, or things. These things are out in the open. So the confrontation here is to face judgment, but it's really, you're revealing the secret, you're making it known, and it may or not be about your orientation. I never came out of the closet personally. I've tried to stop talking about myself in the sermons, but I did come out of the like broom closet. You know, nobody knew that I was a witch, that I practiced witchcraft, and people knew. Okay, um, but that was my coming out of the closet. I never had to say to somebody, you know, I'm on the queer spectrum. I'm not really gay or straight or bi. It's beyond that. But that was kind of obvious. People knew before I did. It was the witch closet. I needed to come out of the priest closet. I needed to come out of the indigenous practitioner closet. I needed to come out of the brujeria closet. I needed to come out of the crone closet. I needed to come out of the sisterhood closet. I needed to come out of the coven closet. For some of y'all, it's going to be coming out of the entrepreneur closet. You're starting your own business. For some of y'all, it's going to be coming out of the whatever closet. Difficult conversations that will create upheavals because there's fear behind the scenes here. Okay. Now let's examine this and see what specifically is it that we're facing. And I'm hearing a song. It's a fine day. People open windows. They leave their houses just for a short walk. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow. It's going to be a fine night tonight. It's going to be a fine day tomorrow. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 dee da da da. La da 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 da. It's a fine day, people open windows. You know, what I'm picking up is be who you are, shine bright like a diamond, shine bright like the sun, go out, be the sunlight. Some people don't like the sunrise. Ain't your problem, ain't your business. What a person decides to think about you says a lot about them. If you care what a person decides to think about you, says a lot about you. You can operate your life without needing affirmation from external sources. And yes, you can affirm sensibilities by your environmental stimuli. But if your self worth and value comes from external sources, you are out of alignment, my dear. So, that song that was coming through, A Fine Day, it's saying things will emerge, the sun will come out. There will be a transition, a closing of a cycle, moving on to another. Something will be revealed as well, and it'll be the part that's happiness. See, when you burst through doors, when you dishevel foundations, when you elucidate, enumerate, enlighten people to the truth of who you are, it does eradicate false narratives. So when the blinding flash of the obvious strikes this people, place, and thing, the environment that you're in, whatever falls away is no longer for you. You've either outgrown it, it was never in alignment with you, but whatever remains behind is authentically in alignment with you. So we're knocking on the door here saying, okay, we're going to drive life forward through the materialization of our drive, desires, passions, motivations, okay? And it will be arriving in terms of a manifestation. And that equates to there were some forced changes as we were on this journey to confront the depths of our soul. Because I know behind here we do have the devil. So there's energy here that would eradicate the devil. The devil is the grade of a 6. It talks about the descent into darkness, the descent into disproportionate power dynamic. This is a 7, this Tower card. Yeah, it's unpleasant. And it is the archetype of Mars. But see, Mars is the chariot of Pluto and of Saturn and of, yeah, those two energies. Uranus on rare occasions. So it's saying bursting out, bursting free, breaking out, breaking free. Could we also have the 7 of Swords? Yes, 7 of Swords can be indicative of deceit. But see, if there's deceit when the 7 of Swords is around, it's talking about parties, plural, that need some common damn sense. They're in damnation, something about themselves. They're physically present, but they're spiritually not unawares. So there will be one person who knows the knowledge is holding the key, and the other, that would be the deception. Things going on right in front of you, that if you were bigger, better, and better, if you had a higher caliber of intellect, common sense, perhaps you would be able to perceive. Okay. Now, on a subtle nature, it can be like a house move, but it's really more breaking up, breaking free in a situation that you need to get out of. Here, it's our authentic self needs to emerge. This is not deception. If the moon is out and it's revealed itself, moon is out, high priestess is out, there's been a transmission of the secret. There's been a transition of the keeping of the knowledge, keeping of the cycle. A cycle is completing as well whenever the moon card is out in the area of the sun, which is the right hand side, conscious side, left hand side would be the subconscious, the moon was the subconscious. And then, I was talking about the Tower card being the archetype of the Mars card or Mars energy, force, inert, inert of energy. Um, but the concept and the archetype is Mars. The concept and idea is Uranus and Saturn. Okay. Well, the archetype of the moon card is Pisces, but the concept idea is Sun in the 8th house or Moon in Scorpio. The descent into the underworld or the understanding of the unconscious psyche, a knowledge of the unconscious psyche. The moon card, yeah, it is the archetype of the moon, new moon, but it's the concept and idea of the moon in Scorpio in the 12th house. 12th house is right here, coming into alignment, coming into balance, coming into equilibrium. The descent in the matter talks about, again, another king. So we have an emperor here, we have a magician here, we have the Hierophant here, we have the chariot here, and they're all hidden. They're all hidden. They're not overt, they're covert. There's no emperor on the board, but we have 2 kings. There's no chariot on the board, but we have a corresponding 7 with the prince. Movement, comings and goings, arrivals and departures of matter is not only manifestation of, but the impetus of the negotiation of. So this is a person who, Miss may even be we, that has gone down a journey, confronted something, and is beginning to close out the cycle and emerge. So what happens when you go on a dark journey of the soul? You confront your shadow, you confront what's alive in you. Oftentimes the things that go ooga booga, that scare you. Okay. So L, source. There's something now that's being embraced, and up until recently we would have been fighting it. Instead of embracing it, we would have been embracing for impact. And we were trying to drive life forward, maybe even trying to manifest some type of love situation. And it doesn't always need to be congenial, intimate love. It could have been something that was a passion of ours, even if it's a solo endeavor. Okay. We would have had to transition. There would have been an ending, transformation of some kind. And it would have been our conceptive nature, so something that was alive inside from within that needed to come so without. So it would have been nurturing into the physical through our feelings of creativity. Okay. And this driving life forward, there was a forced change of some kind. We needed to break through the inertia, break through. Yeah. So the 5 in reverse, and I know I put it in the ideal position. The guidance is somewhat negative, so I'm going to have to take a negative skew on anything. It's ill dignified at the very least. Okay, so when you see a 5 in reverse, it means it's heading towards the 6, but it also still has the energy of the 4. Yes, it is a 5, but either it's going back towards the 4 or it's moving on towards the 6. So this is a 4 of cups upright. This 5 of cups in reverse is also known as the 4 of cups upright. So it means that you're sitting in your emotional nature, you're in your feelings, you're in your conjuring, hoping, wishing, yearning, perhaps wounding. Okay? Because I'm hearing the why is not big enough. I was going to say something else, but what I just got told is the why isn't big. So if the why is not big enough, the how doesn't matter. If you don't have a burning desire, you're never going to get to bigger and brighter and better. There needs to be a sense of, listen, the alternative is not good enough. This current experience is not working. It must change. And whatever I have to do, whoever I need to become to make some changes, I will do it. Okay. So 2 5s is a forced change. It is conflict coming inside from the outside. The origin of the conflict is external, but the impetus of the conflict is an internal recognition of friction that drives change. Adversity is a catalyst for success because conflict breeds change. Okay. And that would have been confrontation. So there would have been all types of feelings. So that would be that 4 of cups I'm referring to. It's not present, but I'm referring to it. What does that mean? Well, if you're sitting in your feelings and you want bigger, brighter, better than you have, but you're not willing to let go of what you have right now, there's a challenge. Um, the enemy of the enemy of good is perfect. Okay, so yeah, you can let the good get in the way of the great. But if you want things to be perfect, you might not appreciate what's good because 4 of cups is not being able to say yes to an offer. Yes yes to an offer. That's what I said. Yes to an offer. So being willing, open to believe that it is possible to receive. So in order to be a bigger, better person, you need to say goodbye to your old you. The price for a bigger, better life is your old life. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And if you stuck on stupid conjuring and yearning up some hurting from the past, it means you're unable to show up to the present and participate. So you're not going to get to the future because you can't even be present in the experience. Yes, suffering is happening. It's okay to struggle, though. It's not okay to suffer. So struggling is when things are difficult and you need to step into a new reality. Suffering is when you're refusing to acknowledge the current reality. So soul purpose, mission, karma, destiny would be to acknowledge who you are, to come to the understanding and the knowledge of why you're here, and to make the choice to go on into the future, becoming a bigger and brighter person by practicing your path. Your path is to go down the journey of your soul purpose, mission, karma, destiny. How do you be of purpose and mission in life? You use your gift to be of service. How do you find your gift? If you're not developing your talents, you have 9 planets in your chart, well, 10, but you have 9 planets in your chart, 9 talents. Most of them are going to be latent, especially in the new world. Whichever ones are not latent, they are talents. Whichever talent is so good that it came from a previous lifetime, you're not learning it in this lifetime, you're remembering it in this lifetime, that is your gift. Here it's saying this is your gift. So that's the firehouses. So that's Dharma. Mind, body, spirit, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this confrontation, this dark journey of the soul would have been a forced change. And then it's saying, well, it was, I see the sun coming out. Ooh. Okay, what is that song? I can bust into show tunes right now. It's like 1 in the morning. I ain't gonna do it. I just know that something good is gonna happen. Who sings that? I don't know when. Who is that? on top of the world. I can't place Kate Bush. So when you confront the Ooga Booga Scary, which is you, when you look the devil in the eyes, which is you, okay, you're going to have a blinding flash of the obvious. The truth is going to emerge, and it's a cold mamma jamma, cold harsh truth. Now, for some of y'all who rolling with the homies, so when you roll with the punches, some of you will be able to handle this. Because foundations are shifting. We have the death card in the second house. Foundations will be shifting. And that's Saturn in the eighth house as well. So, and then we have, again, Saturn in the eighth house, because this is Saturn plus Jupiter. I know it's the archetype of Pluto, but it's sheer power. It's God power. When I say 9 planets in your chart, we really have 10. I'm not counting Pluto, because that's your God. So wherever Pluto is in your chart, that's going to talk about your God. Like I have Pluto in the 11th house. So Saturn, Saturn, Saturn. It's time to mature. You know, Saturn parents you until you can parent yourself. So that was the insanity. You want something good to happen. That Four of Cups not doing nothing because you ain't happy with what you've been offering, but you've been offering a way out of your shenanigans. If you can't show up to your life and participate in your life, you're going to miss your lessons. And you shouldn't be worrying about some perfect that ain't going to come because you ain't going to try to be perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If you're practicing some shenanigans, what you're going to get is more shenanigans. I just know that something good is gonna happen. Oh, I don't know when. Just ain't it clear to see? On top of the world, looking over the edge, it looks like I'm drowning. It feels like I'm drowning. You look so small in your big black car. I hid my yo-yo in the garden, talking about the incarnation cycle. The yo-yo is the yoke. It's the ability to be in sacred union with spirit while you're incarnate in the body. So you're the physical version, and the universe would be the spiritual version, and you guys are twins. Well, that would be the devil, not knowing where your power comes from, trying to give it to other people, trying to pull from external sources to get what's alive in you. And you know, devil is Uranus in the eighth house, giving your power away. Eighth house is shared emotional needs. We call it other people's resources, but not all resources are physical. There's three types of wealth: Lakshmi, Durga, and Saraswati. Only Lakshmi is material wealth. Saraswati is spiritual knowledge. Durga is power, force, ashay. Okay. It's also, besides Uranus in the eighth house, it is Pluto in the 11th house, tyranny over the public community. You know, that's the conditioning, the programming, the maladaptive, idiosyncratic, perfunctory conditioning programming, the you know, matrix. This is when you're giving your power away, stuck in a cycle that won't end because there's something alive in you that you're unwilling to look at. And the only way the devil can get in through the door is if you let him. You know, the devil is lazy and he is weak. The only power he has is what you give to him. That song's still going on. Cloud busting. I hid my yo-yo in the garden that glows in the dark. I beat, I beat, I beat, I beat, I beat. I won't forget. 'Cause every time it rains, I hear your voice in my head. It's like the sun's coming out. You know, the sun coming out here is the blinding flash of the obvious. Your devils, your shadow is going to need to jump up and slap you across the face. It's going to have to goad you, point at you. You're going to need to feel like a kid on the playground in elementary getting bullied. I don't know if that happened to you. It didn't really happen to me. 1 year, but I took care of it. It never happened again. So I faced my bully. I pushed a bench over him and he busted his head open. Nobody messed with me for the next 5 years. 4 really, but you hear what I'm saying? And it was an accident, but see, what I wasn't going to do is sit there and feel scared. What I wasn't going to do is sit there and cry to myself. What I wasn't going to do is let an external incident malign my internal peace, protocol of peace. Example, you got to find your own. You're going to need to face your own bully. Your bully will be your shadow nature. Oftentimes, the part of you that is desperately seeking attention, desperately seeking affirmation is halt, hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Pulling from external resources to feed what's alive in you when you need to give it yourself. That hole in your heart, that hole in your soul is a God-sized hole that only God can fill. Now, you can replace the G word with the spirit word, with the source word, with the creator word, whatever. But until you believe in something big and bright and better in yourself, until you can serve that, you are not being a purpose. Maybe it's just your higher self, the part of you that's in another dimension, in a parallel lifetime in the heavens. Who knows? But this is a spiritual journey all the same. And so you get it every time it rains. I hear the voice in my head, yeah. 50% of our thoughts and feelings are not our own. So if you're not purifying and cleansing, that's archonic energy. It could literally just be the parasites in your bowels that is forcing you to act like an automaton, perfunctory, maladaptive, idiosyncratic functions. It means it's a one-track mind. I get that a lot. People get into the cards with me and they're like, my man, my lover, my twin, when's it coming back? When's it coming back? Girl, if you ain't here, do something else with your life. It's not like what you're asking is irrelevant, but if it consumes your ever living moment, something's out of alignment. How much of those thoughts are you? How much of those thoughts are the Doreen Virtue website or the little Twin Flame websites that stuck on stupid, don't know, no nothing, can't teach, no nothing, don't need to be given advice? Because in the end all and the be all is coming into alignment, facing judgment. Unfortunately, with this, you don't know that we all come from the goddess, and to her we are reborn like a drop of rain falling to the ocean. We return to a point of stasis, to a point of equilibrium, but if you're in the dark, you won't see the light. So when you return to the equilibrium, you're actually going to manifest a world of whatever is alive in you. So don't think power is outside of you. My findings is that there's a second chance here, a renewal, a refresh, a restart. Something can become very physical, very tangible here. Unfortunately, it's going to require that you understand the cycle. And it's a whole incarnational cycle besides the cycle of whatever you're facing, whatever shadow you're facing. Okay, that song will not stop. Because every time it rains, I hear your voice in my head, yeah. Like the sun's coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. Oh, yeah, I just love that the Tower cards, I love the Tower card, unlike most people. The only card I really hate is the Devil, because that's my work. My work is to confront and combat the devil all the time. And, daily spiritual baths is all I gotta say. The Tower card means movement is going to happen and we can get to the truth, especially whenever the Tower and the Justice card are in a parallel, it means the truth is coming out. Whenever the Death card and the Judgment card, it's like a judgment, a forced judgment. This is like, I'm not asking, in China, they have these mobile execution white vans. So you get in the white van and you come out in the body bag. And, I know that's a rather dire example, but it is like very final. There's a finality to that experience. I have a dark sense of humor. So I'm being reminded of that here. The recommendation is to roll with the punches, face these cold hard changes, face these shifts, because they're coming for you. Oop, 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 oop. On top of the world. Okay, well, see here. There's an ending here. There's a completion here. So when the Death card and the World card come out, it means you win the game. You've gone completely through the game, and even if you didn't win the game, you learned the lesson. Now, the devil's in the foundation. So something about who you are, what you're doing, especially your thoughts, your beliefs, and your day-to-day repetitive routines, not quite your day-to-day repetitive routines like your health regimen or your work, like the work you do in the environment of your work, but like every day you get up, every day you eat, every day you get dressed, you believe certain things. I have to dress a certain way for my body type. I have to go to a job because I need my money. I have to live in this house because this is what I can afford. I have to be this kind of person because this is what I've been conditioned and programmed to believe. Your foundational beliefs. This is what we need to confront. So let's talk about it. There's things that need to be embraced. So the devil might be fighting, having some belief that you're stuck, being pessimistic. Okay, because stepping into alignment means finding yourself worth and value. And this is a person who's not secure in themselves because they're giving it out, they're giving it away. Embrace the situation. Because you have what it is, but unfortunately, you would have needed to be torn in all different directions in order to know which way goes for you, what the correct way is. You know, I am a decisive person, and it's hard for me to understand that people don't have a made up mind. You know, I can not know what I want and still know what I want. It's like that doesn't make sense. I don't live in a black and white world. I don't live in the this or that kind of thing. I can hate you and love you in the same moment. I could want to fuck you and not want to fuck with you in the same moment. Like those two things can exist in the same place. And I'm not bipolar or schizo or whatever. So sometimes you know what you want because you know what you don't want. Do you hear what I'm saying? So the Empress, which is our internal nature, had to come into alignment with the shadow self, and she has her back to it. Okay. Now the Emperor, which is our external self, our projected self, our worldly self, is looking smack dab at this judgment, needing to face something, confront something. Could either be the moon or the judgment card. Both are the same. They're sextile anyway, so supportive energy. And what it is it's at the very least a transition if it's not a complete ending. And this is an ending, it's a completion, transition of some kind. So my findings here is that there is an opportunity to go forward into the future, but it seems to me as if, let me just get a little bit more guidance here. Boundaries, proper boundaries. You have everything it is that you need and you're looking outside of yourself for it. And so you can't acknowledge your own value because you're already told yourself that you're not worthy, or you wouldn't be looking outside of yourself for it. You're looking for the world or people, places, and things, somebody else to give you what you already have, to give you what you already are giving yourself. And you keep going, I need it, I need it, I need it, I need it, I need it. So you have this addiction to making these movements, these actions, these gestures from your astral self, from your authentic self, from your heart self, from your tender self, from your emotional body. And it's creating a foundation of struggle until, aha, eureka, you finally have that duh moment. And the whole situation comes to wrap because it's been over. You've been fighting something that was already done. You've been fighting something, futile endeavors, futile efforts. And you have to go out on this journey, and it's an emotional journey. You have a heart open, making gestures, wanting emotional responses, and they're going to be displeasing. But you complete the journey, but unfortunately, it's cold water in the face. I'm having that situation. Years ago, I used to be very orderly, very timely, really good with deadlines, really good under pressure. And I can like write a schedule, have appointments and all that lately, and it just doesn't work. It's like Uranus is in my sixth house. So the day-to-day repetitive routines, they get broken up all the time. If I write a schedule, if I make a plan, God's laughing. Uranus in the sixth house. Sixth house is your day-to-day repetitive routine. So that's me. It's like I feel like the bottoms fell out from under me, but actually, no. Saturn is in my second house. That's the bottom. That's your foundation, second house. So I'm actually quite stable. But my understanding, my mental discernment about how to put my day together and how to service my day, the services I give myself and others, the way I love on people, the way I honor people, the way I praise people, the way I serve people, the way I heal people has completely changed. It's like I'm a newbie in my own life and I don't know how to go about providing anymore. Now it's okay because every day is a new day and every day is a day of learning. It's great because I'm discovering so many more new things. But it would be insanity if I keep trying to do the same thing over and over and over again, over and over again. Now I have a fixed moon, so I'm prone to that. You hear what I'm saying? It's the same similar thing with you. You need proper boundaries. Understand that you're never going to be on the same page emotionally with the people, places, or things that you're trying to yoke yourself to, that union, that yo-yo in the garden. The garden is earth, Garden of Eden, earth. Okay? This side of the moon, underneath the moon, is the Garden of Eden. Okay? You're never going to be of the same emotional nature until you have perfect boundaries. Nobody's going to be able to step to you. How do you? I just heard some weird abstract example. Craigslist buying and selling a car. It's much easier when you know what you want, then you can locate it. But if you're just spending all your time looking at every random car out there, trying to make a purchasing decision, that's a challenge. Yeah, learn, explore, but then don't have that internal conversation, that internal urgency. I need a car, I need a car, I need a car, I need to make a purchasing decision. No, explore. Take a load off. Don't put the pressure on yourself. Learn what cars are out there this week, this month, this quarter. Maybe next quarter, maybe next year, maybe next month, you can make a purchasing decision. We have to whittle it down. Because when you say, I want this, by nature, you're saying you don't want this. So with people, places, and things, it's you need boundaries. A personal set of guidelines, rules, means, methodologies, and mechanisms so which you can interface with the world and discern the data. What is data? It's stimuli from your environment, input, whether it's passive, active input, whether it's suggesting or affirming input. And that's what a mature individual is. That's what an adult is. An adult is emotionally responsible, meaning nobody has made them feel any way, good or bad. And when you have some type of adverse reaction, you own that adverse reaction. Nobody else is responsible for your adverse reaction. Nobody else is responsible for your hurt feelings. Nobody else is responsible for you not getting your own needs met. Yeah, they might be responsible for their behavior. Yes, they might have created the occurrence, the event in your environment that created that emotional frequency which you perceive through your feelings. They might be responsible for their behavior, but you choose how to respond. You have the ability to choose how to respond, ergo the responsibility to be the bigger, better emotional adult. When you're an emotional adult, you're responsible for your feelings, regardless of what anybody else did. Maybe you are correct. Maybe you have been wronged. Maybe something has happened to you. I don't like that wording. Yeah, but yes, maybe something happened to you. It might not be your fault. It still is, however, your responsibility to pick it up and keep it moving. So that's the reality here. And we have 3 5s. So we went from 2 5s to 3 5s. So that is a definite all around change. 3 separate corners of the universe are coming together to merge into one. Looking over the edge, on top of the world, looking over the edge. It feels like I'm drowning. You look so small in your big black car. Something from the government. Standing over the edge that's when you need faith. In the absence of all evidence, therein lies faith. Evidence is some bullshit that the colonizer made up. Facts and figures is a way to distract yourself from soul's wisdom. And facts and figures is what we run to when source wounding harms us so much that we can't be present in our own lives. That's what that anxious feeling is all the time. What's he doing? Why he's not calling me? Whatever. Maybe that ain't you looking for some boo. Okay, whatever your little story is, honey. If you're stuck on stupid, you're still stuck on stupid. You ain't gotta have a demon dick in the bed to be stuck on stupid. You could be running around in a little rat cage, hamster wheel, not being able to try something different and take responsibility. That's what stuck on stupid is. So when you have to take that leap, in the absence of all evidence, therein lies faith. Well, faith can be evidence based, meaning you can trust just a little tiny bit and be vulnerable just a little tiny bit with the invisible, with the unfathomable. And when it's affirmed your minuscule, undeveloped belief, you can further develop that belief. You don't know where this money's coming from, but you put the call out to the universe for the money comes through. Now you know you can manifest bigger, brighter, better next time. Let's hope next time ain't a money shortage. Whatever you want to manifest, you can manifest. So in the absence of all faith, in the absence of all evidence, therein lies faith. Well, faith is evidence-based. If nothing can get in the way of you and your men, if nothing can get in the way of you and your God, that means you had to cultivate a bigger, better relationship with them, with him, with he, with she, with her. So it's this emotional checking out that I'm conflicted with. Because it's clear your boundaries are clear. Your boundaries are clear, but then you're willing to whittle waddle around just to get some affirmation from somebody. And it's like, if you had a clear boundary and mofo can't step to you correct, let them go. Eventually, the person who can appreciate your boundaries will show up. It doesn't have to be an intimate situation. So let's go ahead and read this sermon. That was the sermon. So I'm going to do 3. So some of you have won an artistic career. So your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. You know, I don't like getting on the channel and singing. I always lose subscribers when I do that. But if something's coming through, it's coming through. Okay. So if you're thinking about starting some type of career in music, whatever that is, go ahead and do it. If it's alive in you, you need to pursue it. It doesn't matter how to do it. A lot of people will be like, yeah, but da-da-da, yeah, but da-da-da. Girl, go walk in the direction of your dreams, even if it's a crawl, or don't talk to me. If you're sitting there focusing on all the reasons why you can't get done what you want get done, you ain't gonna have no results next year, and I'm just gonna laugh in your face. Not really. That's a little bit rude. I'm inclined to laugh, but I don't need to do it in your face. I I'll be harsh, but I won't go out of my way to be harsh. That's my rule. When you cannot be nice, at least be kind. So consider the career possibilities that are open to you. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. Art therapist, I just heard that word, counseling. So you don't need to you can do art therapy with music as well. Trust your feelings and your dreams to guide you on your career path. This is all under strength, strength, courage, and wisdom. Everything you've been experiencing in life has made you strong and courageous. Nothing you can say can tear me away from my God. Polish your skills and practice regularly. For some reason, I want to read, you are safe and supported while you change your career. The angels reassure you that it's safe for you to make your career transition and that you will be supported along the way, provided you listen to and follow your inner guidance. This card indicates that the time is right for you to make this change. Hold on to your intention. This change will allow you to bring more blessings into your life. No what you say? There's not a man today that can take me away from my God. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Trust your feelings and dreams to guide your career path. The angel sent you this card as a validation that your feelings are trustworthy guides as you aspire to make healthy life changes. Your dreams and desires are clues to your life purpose as your soul calls out through the language of feelings. If you are discontent with any situation, trust these feelings. If you're excited about the prospect of it, for example, the angels remind you that writing is an art and not a science. Hold on, did I skip something? Yeah, that's why I paused. If you're feeling discontent about any situation, trust these feelings. If you're excited about this prospect, for example, returning to school or opening your own business, trust these feelings. If your gut is warning you about a certain person in your life, trust these feelings. The first step is to notice your feelings. You do so by creating some quiet time alone where you can talk alone with yourself. Ask yourself questions like, what do I really want? And what is best for my life purpose? And then notice the physical and emotional feelings that come in response. Your feelings are the physical embodiment of heaven's guidance for you. Trust in their validity, even if you don't understand them or feel certain about what they mean. Your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. If this card comes to you like a messenger angel signaling the need for more music in your life, music opens your soul to receiving divine guidance so that you will confidently walk upon the pathway of your life purpose. Play whatever draws your interest and notice how each song affects your mind, body, and energy level. You're also called upon to create a personal connection with music for healing purposes. This may mean learning an instrument, writing a song, or taking singing lessons. Perhaps there's an instrument you once played that is calling to you again. I used to play the flute, the bamboo flute, and it's really been calling to me lately. Um, See, the funny thing about that is I would run naked through the forest and do it. And it would give me a connection to the animals because animals would come really close to me when I would play the flute in the forest. So maybe that's TMI for some of you. But yeah, I just want to share, family. So this may mean learning an instrument, writing a song, or taking singing lessons. Perhaps there's an instrument that you once played that is calling to you again. You might incorporate music into your healing or teaching work. Or you may find support and companionship by joining with others in a musical group or class. The Archangel Sandalphon helps with healing through music. Call upon him and Archangel Gabriel. He's the one that sends you the songs, and then Healing Through Music is Sandalphon. Sandalphon was one of the only few archangels that was once upon a time human. Call upon him with this wonderful affirmation. Thank you, Sandalphon, for bringing music to and through me. You will receive intuitive messages that deepen your connections via music. It's been an honor and pleasure to serve you today. Thank you for allowing me the privilege and the pleasure to do so. Again, if you'd like to leave a donation, the link is in the show notes below. Even $5 helps right now, y'all. There's a lot of big changes coming. I'm already working on them. You know, my promises were really not materializing, so I stopped sharing everything that I'm doing. So I'm just saying there's a lot of big changes coming. I'm so excited when I do have the chance to share them with you, but I won't talk about them while they're in development. When they're ready to come to market, that's when I talk like a marketer, pardon me. When I'm ready to show off, then I'll share. Okay, take good care of yourself. Das vidanya, au revoir, sayonara, avida zane, shwe shwe, moshi moshi. Bye.